In Parshas Ba'aloscha, we observe a tragic decline in Am Yisrael's respect for Hashem and Moshe Rabbeinu. There's a litany of complaints. A litany of complaints. And Moshe says, I can't take it anymore. Hashem, what am I supposed to be? Their mother? I can't do it. What am I supposed to do? Moshe Rabbeinu is clearly at a loss. Parenting is never easy. He didn't want the job anymore. What was it about that time that said to Moshe, enough's enough? And the answer is like this. Why couldn't he handle the nation's complaints? Because he's an ish tov. In that parsha, he says to Yisro, his father-in-law, come with us to Eretz Yisrael. We just left Mitzrayim, and he says, V'haya hatov hahu asher yetiv Hashem v'imanu v'itavnu lach. 5 times he says the word tov. The point I want to make is, if we're complainers in life, we're going to have problems. We can't complain. We have to take the cue from Moshe Rabbeinu that he saw only the good. And we have to frame our requests as not a complaint, but I'd rather have this. It's important how we talk and we ask for things. Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us that complaining doesn't help relationships, certainly doesn't help marriages. What we have to learn from Moshe Rabbeinu is see it from the perspective of Tov. So one of the things I tell all my singles that I deal with is I want you, this is what I do every day that I've been doing for years, please write down 50 things that you're grateful for, and please say it after Shachris every day. Start your day with a gratitude seder. It's so important. It changes my whole perspective. I've been doing this for over 15 years. One of the greatest things I ever did. And I make every single do this. It's very important because they especially need that push of positivity. So it's so important. It'll change our whole perspective of life. And also, we have to maintain and realize that we married our husbands or our wives because we saw the good in them, because there were many things about them that we liked, but the Yetzer Hara gets into our little head and makes us see things differently. Look what happens when we're not working on the marriage. I once saw them as an activist. Years later, because the marriage is rusty, I now see them as a busybody. Where I once saw them as ambitious, now they're workaholics. I praised them as being attentive, and now they're possessive. Where once you thought that the spouse was confident, now he's arrogant, or she's arrogant. What was cool, definitely looked up to them as being cool, now they're frigid. What was funny, now is show off. Honest, now becomes cynical. This is what happens when the hashkafa is not maintained and the work isn't maintained on the marriage. When we used to call them laid back, now we see them as lazy. Playful is now immature. Modest is now prudish. Opinionated is now argumentative. Look how our perspectives are skewed if we're not careful and we're not working on the marriage regularly. Optimistic becomes now stupid. Quiet is too quiet. Simple becomes boring. Simple was a mile, now it's a chisaron, is boring. Sincere becomes you're too brutally honest. Smart becomes a know-it-all. Trusting becomes gullible. So here's what happens when we're not careful and we start to take our eye off the monitor.